Speaker on.
And welcome to another episode of the DNS Podcast. I'm Sean.
And I'm Dan. Welcome.
So, first things first, for all of our international friends and family, DNS Strength Collective will be shipping internationally from July 1st through DHL. So, unfortunately with Australia Post using commercial flights to get international mail overseas and commercial flights not running with COVID at the moment, we've worked out how to get it to you through DHL. So get ready to put in your orders from July 1.
July 1st. Happy days.
So that's a nice little milestone for us, nice little tick off.
Yeah, international. We've had a few guys, haven't we, from America and England reach out. We've got some family back in England and friends, so yeah, good to provide that service now. Get it overseas.
That's it. So we did put a Q&A up on Instagram.
Response.
First thing, have a go at 'em.
It was crap this week. We had a good week last week.
Well, Timmy's wasn't even a question, it was more a command. Bless his heart.
We'll have a go at these. We've got a couple of absolute nonsense ones.
But I've got a couple as well. So
Should we open up with Timmy's? Because we miss English power.
We do miss English power. Get your bum back down to the gym, Tim.
Get back down to the gym. We're waiting for you. We've got a lot of work to do.
But like I say, his wasn't really a question, it was more of just a
statement.
statement.
No, it's quite funny, yeah. Nobody's really going to, apart from the people who live in the Midlands in England, probably going to get it. His response was, should totally run a comp in the middle of Swindon Outlet, pull around all the old machinery. So Swindon Outlet Village is a bit like Rouse Hill Shopping Centre. It's just like, you've got like a Nike store, Adidas store, and I think it was like a train museum as well. So there's a load of old train machinery and stuff. Yeah, actually, where was that place in Sydney? We went to watch Reese fight there, and as soon as we walked in, we said this would be a perfect spot for a strongman. It was Redfern.
Trackworks or something like that.
Yeah.
It's basically an old abandoned railway yard. Well, not abandoned, like a refurbished railway
and
yard.
they've still got some of the lines in there.
Yeah,
got
it's all steel pillars, high ceilings, polished concrete floors. It's
proper job.
If we had the capital, would love to run something there.
Because that was probably one of the best fight shows we've been to. They had the stage in the middle, the lights. It was just a really good setting.
Except for the beer, a terrible beer.
What were we drinking? Beck's. Beck's. Yeah, it was bottled Beck's. Yeah, it was crap. Yeah, we don't like bottled Beck's at all. But I don't, Tim. Yeah, the logistics of that, mate, would be very difficult. But it was a good idea, and I do miss Swindon Outlets. You get some good quality gear.
Never went there.
Yeah, no, you're not missing out much, mate. To be fair, not missing out much at all. Who else we got on here? Guest list limited. If you could live anywhere, where would it be? I'm gonna let you start with that one.
Japan.
Hey?
Japan. I love Japan.
You've said that before.
We've been there. How many years ago would it be? Can't even remember, to be honest. I was still a big lad. I was still about 180 kilos.
Decent.
Yeah, it's before I lost a bunch of weight and then put a bunch back on. And when we were in Japan, I'm 6'2", I was 180 kilos. They all thought I was like a visiting sumo from America. And people would stop me in the streets to get photos. They'd like give up their seats on trains for me.
Like a WE wrestler.
Yeah, it's like being royalty. How is this what it's like to
What
be
do you want
important?
to go back there then? King Sean back in Japan.
But the food is some of the best food I've ever had. Best steak I've ever eaten.
I can imagine.
One of the best burgers I'd ever eaten was actually, weirdly, a hotel burger. So the Hilton Tokyo.
Room service.
No, I went down to the restaurant. It was our first night there. We got there kind of late. And I was peckish. I just wanted a burger.
It was different class.
It was
portion
amazing.
size is different over there. A little bit more cuisine.
Yeah, but the thing is, they're really big on like looking after you. So when you go to like the pub or like a bar, they're only small, but your drink comes with like a little nibbles as well. So like one of the places my mate took me to was like a horror movie themed place. So they had the themed cocktails and beer on tap, and they give you popcorn as your snack. So just this little tub of popcorn.
Just loads of flavour in, smaller quantities, loads of it. That's how I like to eat. That's good. I'd love to go there, to be fair.
But they're just so. The other thing I like is 'cause, like people with bad manners do my nut. Like it's not hard to remember please and thank you. So they're
Definitely.
so polite and courteous.
It's funny.
It makes me so happy.
You've said that, and someone else who I think is very similar to yourself is my old man, and he's been there. He never gives any people any sort of accolades, but he said when he went to Japan, he said exactly the same.
Yeah.
Everyone was polite, please, thank you, opening doors.
Yeah.
Just
Just little things. It's just basic common courtesy.
It's amazing what small things like that does to your experience.
Yeah. So Japan in a
crazy.
heartbeat.
Japan and a heartbeat, that's a pretty good one.
Or Ireland. So I love Ireland.
Yeah, you do like, you got some family back on,
I
haven't you?
do.
Oh,
Where would you be?
where would I live? God, I don't know. I love cat eye. I always
Explain
say it
cat
to
eye.
everyone.
Explain cat
I
eye.
live in North Kellyville. I think anywhere around here is paradise. To be fair, look, coming from me, I come from a real nice place in England, the Cotswolds. But you know, you come over here and the weather's good and it's a good spot. But Cat Eye is Pit Town. I suppose you call it Pit Town. It's on the way to Wiseman's Ferry. I played golf there at Riverside Oaks, and it reminds me. It has the feel of back home, like bit in the countryside a little bit. I don't know. I just every time I drive down there, I stick my Oasis. I put Oasis on the Spotify, drive down to the golf course, and it just gives me this feel. I don't know what this feeling is. I just love it. And I would move there in a heartbeat. But property down there is
Pricey.
yeah. From what I've seen, it's because obviously you're going to be on a little bit of acreage, whatever, and anywhere around Sydney, it's not going to be.
No.
You know, it's not going to
That's
be
the
cheap.
dream though. Bit of land.
Yeah.
I've always said I want a garden big enough to be able to do like the Highland hammer throw and not take out my neighbour's window. So like
You have that out
it's
there.
not going to be like acres upon acres.
Yeah, just space.
Yeah,
Good
just space.
So you walk out in your garden with your cags down,
Yeah.
bit of fresh air at the old.
Throw a hammer and not
Yeah,
smash
I,
out.
it's random, but yeah, I suppose Sydney for us is. You've been here for a long time. Been here for. I never thought I'd ever come down here. To be fair, if it wasn't for work. So yeah, I think this place. I think Sydney, Australia is.
Yeah, it
Up
is.
there. It's a cracking place. So yeah, I'll go with that. And to be specific, I'll be Cat Eye there.
Cat eye.
Cat Eye. We got a couple more, haven't we? Hey, do or die.
I got some plans left for life, so let's do.
I'll do as well. No, we got. Oh, I'm gonna leave the best one to last. Actually, with Sparksy. Sparksy asked a good question. But the one before that is, how are you dealing with social distancing? Fucking brilliant. It's fine, isn't it?
Yeah, it's called personal space.
Personal space. We don't mind that. We love, we're full of love and that, but we do like a bit of space.
Yeah, I'll give you a handshake or a hug if I know you.
If you're lucky.
if I'm not in the mood. But actually,
Yeah.
I will say the one thing that's frustrated me about all the social distancing stuff is like I've come to terms with a fist bump. I hate it. Normally,
You used to, you weren't a fan of
refuse
that.
to. I refuse to.
And I've seen you hand out a few and I've gone, fuck, it's Sean alright? Is it alright tonight?
I used to refuse to give fist bumps. Shake my hand. You're a bloody grown up. I can deal with fist bumps now. When people want to do the elbows thing,
Fuck the elbow. If anyone comes in here with an elbow, I'm gonna have you straight in the nose. It's a load of rubbish. It's crap, isn't it? The elbow.
no.
We're not gonna touch at all.
Yeah, just nod at me. Just a respectful nod. How you going? Yeah,
Yeah,
good.
it's fine.
That'll do me.
100 metres
Don't
down the
stick
road.
your elbow up at me, though.
Yeah, if
I
an
think
elbow
you're going to
comes,
attack me, and then I'm going to throw a plate at you.
yeah, karate chop you through the throat. Yeah, elbows is rubbish.
But yeah, social distancing, no problem. I'm quite happy with it.
Yeah, it's
Don't mind
absolutely
if a bit
fine.
personal
We're
space.
fine. We'll keep that going on forever and ever. We'll save the best till last. This is the one. Sparksy 14.
There's one more underneath Sparksy from memory.
Oh, sorry. Yes, there is. Key Prints Apparel.
Key Print.
Key Print Apparel. Fish and chips or pie and mash? I'll go first on that one.
Yeah.
It depends on the circumstances.
Yeah?
If I've had a few beers, pie and mash.
Ooh.
Pie and mash with a load of gravy on top. That meat to me goes down a treat. But on a day-to-day basis, because I obviously don't drink alcohol every day, fish and chips.
Yeah.
Or batter sausage and chips with a load of salt, a load of vinegar, Chalford chippy.
Mushy peas, curry sauce.
Yeah.
50p for extra scraps.
And I'll put this out to the listeners as well. If anyone knows English fish and chips, that you can't match that. If there's anything, if anyone knows of anywhere close to the quality of fish and chips around this area, Penrith, Western Sydney, or even in Sydney, we'll travel. Let us know in the comments, because we're always looking for good fish and chips, aren't we?
I'd say, fish and chips always. Although there's a pub near Marble Arch in London called the Black Swan. Stellar pie there.
Stellar pie.
Very good pie.
That's a Cockney East London. That's a London dish, isn't it? There's the pie and mash.
Pie and liquor.
Yeah, and it's just a splodge.
Thin gravy.
Love it.
So that's me at the old
go. Yeah, we just had lunch. Ready for round 2. No. All right, final one. Sparksy, the best one. The importance.
Just talking into your can.
Whistling into my can. Shout out Fit Aid, supplying the drinks again.
They are.
They're a good touch.
We get through. We have to order double because we drink half of them.
Yeah, we have 5 a day, but we're not going to that.
Well, Sparksy.
The importance or benefits of having a training partner. You can dib in first in that. That's a really good question.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Dive on the end of it.
I'm going to say it's individual, because I actually don't like. I like training with you. I don't mind training with Aaron when we're over at 168. But generally, I don't like training with people. I like training by myself.
It's a preference thing.
Yeah. A good training partner will take you a long way if you're on the same wavelength. Having someone to train with for the sake of someone to train with can help keep you accountable, but it doesn't necessarily impact your training. I still believe that's self-driven first and foremost.
That's a good point. And I just think there's a little slightly different spin on that to add to it. I honestly believe, and I've seen this as we've started creating these groups of people downstairs training together, and I honestly think that a good training partner is as valuable as a good program.
Yeah.
Because I think in the right environment, not for everyone, but in the right environment, that chemistry that you can feed off one another is brilliant. Yeah. I think it's valuable, but it has to be used with the right person, the right personality types. But if you can group those people together, I think there is a lot of value in that.
Watching you and Aaron train during lockdown was enjoyable. The intensity and working in together, the back and forth.
But if you've got 2 people that are on different wavelengths in terms of how you behave around each other, it can work in reverse, can't it?
Yeah, because like when I actually want to get something done, I like being left alone.
Yeah.
So and you've seen it down there. Like if we go to train and there's a few people in, I'll either put my headphones on,
leave you to it,
or I'll wait until they're gone.
Yeah, and that's an individual thing, and it's important for us as coaches to realise that as well. In circles, I think people, especially in a gym floor, people circulate. They that energy is kind of telegraphic, I suppose.
Yeah.
I think people group together and they can feed each other.
It's contagious. It definitely is.
And then you'll get people that are just literally, they'll interact, but they're training. They've got their spot. This is their program and go. But in the right place, I think training partners is potent. I think it can really drive some results and push you past some boundaries.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think it is really, it's an individual thing, and
That's good.
it can also be. I've seen it work against people as well though, because if their training partner can't make it, say they go on holiday, they're suddenly lost for a fortnight and won't put in the same amount of effort. You've still got to have that individual drive.
Yeah, that's your basis.
Yeah.
You have to have that. Definitely.
Oh.
But no, that was a good question. Oh, that was a really good one, Sparksy.
Always coming through with the goods.
Yeah, that was our questions, I think.
That was. But since we're talking about training partners and training in general, one thing that I've been asked a couple of times is our different coaching and training philosophies and the way we style our programs and approach training ourselves.
Yeah.
Coming from 2 quite different backgrounds, in terms of how we got into training and what we train for.
So philosophies and sort of ideas around. I'll kick that one off. I suppose with me, I'm coaching on the gym floor here. I've got people that are playing competitive sport.
Yep.
I've got powerlifters, weightlifters, and Gen Pop. And the way, you probably noticed this, the way that I program and coach the competitive athletes compared to the powerlifters is very different.
Yep.
Because I think something we need to realise is those powerlifters, their sport is on the gym floor. With the competitive athletes, their sport is out of here. So we've got like this analogy of the old cup with the water being the stress and overfilling it, and that's always in danger. So I'm always holding them back. And then with the guys that could be in powerlifting, whatever else, who are trying to push the strength, I'm always trying to give them that little bit more push. So I think, that's the way. It's just overlooking my philosophy, or whatever. I think that's kind of the way that I'm going about things. And then obviously I'll fill the gaps in from there.
In terms of motivating your lifters, we're quite different in that as well, in the way we coach and approach feedback. Well, that doesn't sound creepy, but like I'm a watcher. But I'll sit there and I'll watch them execute their thing. I won't yell cues at them, and then I'll chat to them afterwards and say like, okay, for your next set, remember X, Y, Z, or think about this.
That's a good way to be.
So you see a lot. You see it at powerlifting comps. Hips, up.
That's emotional coaching.
Yeah.
There's nothing. Anyone who's listening to this who's under maximal load, and you're getting somebody shouting a body part, that ain't even really entering.
No.
It might happen with some people, I suppose, but I think that is you're just throwing a dart into the dark.
You're not mid, third attempt deadlift, and then you go, oh, I forgot to use my hips for the last two. Maybe I'll add them into this one.
Yeah, in a start position, you might be able to shout something really, brash.
It's
like
got to be like a one
pushing
word.
about, something which is explosive.
Yeah.
If you start reeling out a sentence of technical things, it's just gonna, I think, slow things down.
Here you go, X, Y, Z.
But there's lots of ways to skin a cat, and
Yeah.
I think the key to a good coach is being able to. Everyone's different. We need to tap into these people if we want to get results. We need to find out what works for everyone individually. From an individual standpoint, that's important. I think all the top coaches and the ones that are getting consistent results are able to do that.
I've said to a couple of guys, like, I'm not the right coach for everyone, and not everyone's the right client for me. So it's never a personal thing. If they're here and they want to change to yourself or Will, like, I don't take that personally. I think a lot of coaches do. They get their ego. Why don't you want to be with me anymore?
Yeah.
It's like, because it's you don't get on with everyone.
It's a relationship. Relationships.
Yeah.
Relationships might not work out for the best. It might not be the best thing for each other. Everyone's different. But my philosophy. It can when you've got people from sort of different areas, it sort of changes slightly. And like the guys that I know are going away and playing competitive sport, fighting, rugby league, whatever else. When I'm in here, the old saying, I'm trying to make them. You probably hear me say it a lot of times. My aim is to make them feel better than when they walked in.
Yep.
So when they go to their sport training, when they go out to compete, on the court, the pitch, whatever, they're ready to go and excel at their sport. And the powerlifters and that, they're coming in, and I might start throwing some numbers around and get the competitive juices going. That's the aim of the game.
That's the fun.
Push that total up and have fun in the process. That's pretty cool.
Nice. One from Cootsy. What's
Mr. Coots?
Mr. Coots. He asked me this the other week when we were down on the floor. What's our thoughts and philosophies around recovery? Are we a fan of anything in particular, like massage guns, ice bars, cryo, all that sort of thing?
Let me start.
You start.
Recovery. I mean, with stuff like this, we're looking to pick low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
But what's the things that we can grab straight away and put into place? There's so many different protocols and things out there now. We've got these fancy guns, and you can go to these recovery centers and do all this stuff. But first and foremost, are we sleeping enough? Are we hydrated? Is our nutrition on point? Is our programming scheduled in a way where we have a lighter day, we have a recovery day? Are we monitoring total weekly volume, session volume? I think those things there, we need to look at off the bat and make sure they're in check. Otherwise, I think if we haven't got that in check, then we go up higher and we start putting people in cryotherapy chambers and stuff. I just think there's a whole layer of things, like I've just said, the sleep, the food, underneath that we need to really tap into and make sure they're being checked off before we go into those realms. Is that old-fashioned?
No, because I can guarantee that if people just improved the amount of fluids they take in and their sleep, get those two things right, and you're going to feel 50% better straight off the bat.
Sleep's that's the lowest hanging, isn't it?
Make sure you fix your nutrition. You're 95% of the way there. So,
let's say that's the first thing. People are not recovering. Okay, well, what's going on? People that are on a 4-day program, so they're in here for an hour at a time. That's 4 hours in here a week.
Yeah.
That's 4 hours we get to see exactly what they're doing. All the time, people have got work life, weekends, socialising, whatever else. There's so much more going on.
It's funny because one of the girls downstairs, our coach, Rubes, end of her last program, she's like, I just can't recover. I said, I'm not surprised. She said, what do you mean? I said, well, I saw on your Instagram you're doing sandhill runs twice a week. You're going up to the sand dunes and doing hill sprints. You're boxing twice a week. And then you got a 4-day, quite intense program. And that's just what I see you do.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's understanding the stress that all that extra stuff takes on you.
You're filling up the cup.
If training is a priority for you. If it's a recreational thing like some of the guys down there, it's not
different. But if you're looking to get that's when you go to the top level.
Yeah.
If you're looking to put on, if you're looking to increase your total or whatever else, if you're looking to make significant gains, then that's the stuff that you've really got to make sure is in check, and that has a drastic effect on how quickly you make these make progress and how you're actually performing on a day-to-day basis.
So next weekend, since we're on the topic of recovery, next weekend we're going out to Chris's CrossFit box, and we're going to do.
We are.
We're
going out. I'm looking forward to it, but there's something I'm not looking forward to because I just want to come up with a frigging idea.
I know, it's usually me with the dumb ideas.
Yeah, and that was me this time.
Pick this one.
It's because I had too much. I had too many caffeine fit aids and like coffee before we did the podcast.
So we're going out next week to do a WOD with Chris. How the bloody hell are we going to recover from that?
Yeah, I don't know. That's it. I don't know. We're going to. Well, it depends what he gives us first.
Yeah.
If he starts making us do, I'm nervous about. If there's kipping pull-ups stuff like that, then I'm actually a little bit nervous.
If they put skipping pull-ups in there, we need to bloody change it.
Yeah. Well, we might be listening. We might stitch ourselves up, big style.
No, mate, I'm either going to tear down the rig or tear out my shoulders.
Yeah, crikey. But that's another point in terms of recovery. Your training program. If you put these, if you progress something massively from the progression over a training cycle over a week, it needs to be gradual. I mean, if you put this massive blip in there, where the volume, you spike the volume, or the intensity goes way up, and you don't build into it, like trying to recover after that is really impossible, and that's when obviously the incident of injury coming in is a factor in whatever else.
Last Sunday I did the pandemic games, and my right trap from throwing,
It's buggered.
it was, until yesterday, was tight, sort of shoulder to ear. So trying to pull the deadlifts on the Monday, having not thrown with that sort of intensity for a while,
It's a big
bloody
factor.
tough.
It's a big
So
factor.
I should have factored in a little extra recovery day and not gone straight into my deadlifts. But
Do as I say, not as I do.
Parenting 101.
Do
Parenting
as I
101.
say, not
Do
as I
say,
do.
not as I do. I said, Daddy, can I have a Guinness? No. Why are you drinking Guinness?
Yeah, long
When
story.
you're older. Well, it was a long day, baby. It was a long day.
That's your 14th can. Sorry.
But yeah, it's going to be an interesting one next weekend.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
So, to answer your question, Coots, I don't know, I'll tell you how we recover from a CrossFit WOD after we do it.
Yeah, a lot of pain. Maybe some alcohol after.
There will be July, so you're dry.
Yeah, I'm gonna dry June this year.
Oh.
Isn't it?
I won't possess you too.
I don't know. No, I don't know. It was obviously my birthday on the 31st. We went out and played golf, didn't we? With a bottle of Fireball and a couple of beers.
Yeah.
With a good bunch of lads.
I don't play golf, but I gave it a crack.
Played really well.
I found out I haven't played for a long time. I used to be alright at driving, terrible at putting, so I didn't have the patience. I actually did better at the putting than the driving this time.
Yeah, no, well, the second hole in, you made the putt to win the hole. To win all half the hole, so.
Yeah, win the hole for Team England.
Me and Sean were in a team together for Team England against the rest of the world, against Dino and Aaron, wasn't it?
Yep.
South Africa and Italy, Maldini. And yeah, we had a few drinks that day, didn't we? We all did.
Yeah, that back nine.
Yeah.
Well, we got to the point where we were playing in the dark.
Pitch dark, doing neck nominations for Rani.
Ran.
Another shout out. He's 6 episodes, 7 episodes. He's
every single one. Stand or submit because we can't leave much behind.
we will be down there soon. I'm gonna find a weekend soon.
I messaged Ran, so we've got the DNS company car coming.
Yep.
Which will be fun.
We'll take
So as long as they keep the border open to Victoria, we're going to take a little road trip down.
We'll be taking plenty of road trips.
Stopping off at Beechworth, then on to Castlemaine.
Get some training done, get some podcasting done, some videos. We've got some good videos down there. I'm looking forward to going and visiting Mason's Yard.
It's good down there.
A cracking spot.
I'd be interested to see what it looks like by the time we get down there. I know he's doing some work on it at the moment.
Yeah, you said.
So.
That'll be good.
But, where else? Actually, no, Ryan's just got that new gig at the CrossFit Albury Wodonga.
That's right, he's got a new coaching role.
So I want to stop off there.
Stop in there.
It's a massive place by the looks of it.
I saw a video of him deadlifting. He's doing 270 for a few reps, was it? On the old deadlift?
Yeah, I think so.
There's a Griffin went down. We had Luke in.
Yes,
Luke.
So Luke's going to jump on an episode of the podcast pretty soon for us. We're going to have a little chat about his experience for the last 10 years of strongman, how the scene's changed.
Yeah, he's been around the game for a while. He's dealt with a few big injuries and a super nice bloke as well.
Yeah, competed at a pro level. He's South Africa, Spain, that sort of thing. He's done the Arnold series.
I know he's been a big figure on the Arnold scene. He's been down there. What was he doing yesterday? He's doing reps on 160 on the log.
Yeah.
He's a towering figure.
Not many people I actually have to look upwards at. So.
Yeah, no, he's a
big boy.
He's a big boy. I had a good chat with him yesterday when we were training. Yeah, he's a real top bloke.
So he'll be on an episode soon. Ran has agreed to jump on with us soon when we go down and see him.
Might have a special guest as well. We won't reveal. At the end of the day, special guest, someone who's been around strength in Australia for a while,
which would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then Mace is going to jump on when we go down there. So
do a joint one with Mason, right?
Yeah, we'll have some good guests coming on.
Four-way.
We'll do 3. We'll do one with all 4 of us. One with Mace talking about strongman in Australia, where he sees it going, and one we're going to do with Ran talking about a little bit about business.
Okay, talking about
owning gyms and running gyms.
Stand and submit as well. Talking about the stand and submit.
So
that'd be good to look forward to.
Just a short one today, guys. A little half-hour doobie.
Little half an hour. Get on here and ask some questions. What have we got? What have we?
So next week.
Next week, international shipping.
Yep.
We will put that. We'll let you guys know on the old Instagrams, Facebook to confirm that. Hoodies coming.
Hoodies coming. Beanies coming. Your Instagram?
Brain fart at dwally10.
At Sean 2.0. At DNS Strength Collective. DNSStrengthCollective.com for all your apparel needs.
Have a squiz.
And we will.
Chuck us YouTubes if you're watching us.
Yep.
Chuck us a subscribe. Chuck us a
like, comment, subscribe.
Or a dislike if you don't like us.
Yeah.
It's
nice to
you. Yeah, like.
Alright guys, have a great week. We'll talk to you soon.
Cheers guys.